Well, good morning, everyone. I'm in the lovely village of Great Ouseburn, which is near York. It's west of York, near the little toll bridge at Old Walk over the River Ouse. But we're not going over the toll bridge, we're going the other way. And we're doing a circular ride to Boroughbridge and back. The return route will take us on the Way of the Roses cycle route. Well, actually, we'll join the Way of the Roses before then in the first half of the cycle ride. This first ride, we're heading for the village of Arkendale, which is the other side of the A1, and then the village of Staveley, where we began one of the other bike rides on video. And then there's a small off-road section before joining the Way of the Roses route. That will take us into Boroughbridge, and Boroughbridge will mark the end of part one of this video. Boroughbridge, famous for a lot of things, but more recently for the filming of the Yorkshire vet, when one of the vets had a premises in Boroughbridge. This is quite an easy ride and fairly short. It's going to take us, for in total, including part one and part two, about 90 minutes, question mark. After last week cycling, my bike coach wants me to have a bit of an easy ride today, and then we'll head back up to a hopefully 30-miler tomorrow, depending on the weather. And I haven't decided where yet. So I'm kind of taking it easy on this ride. It's a bit windy as well today, so I'll have to do a bit of wind removal when I edit this video. when you use a GoPro camera like I do, the recording's split into several clips, each about 17 minutes long, which you then import into the video editing software, and I use Power Director. And so if you're doing something like removing wind, you've got to do it from each clip individually, and it does take a long time for it to remove the wind from each clip. You know, the time you go off and do something, go and brush your teeth and potter around a bit and come back, and if you're lucky it's actually finished removing the wind from that particular clip, and then you've got to do it again to the next clip, and so on, so on, so on. So a bit of a pain, but there you are. I'm not in a complaining mode today, I promise you. It's so peaceful out here. It's one of those rides that you probably wouldn't do if you were touring the area, probably because you wouldn't know about it. But it's a good little ride if you're looking for something that's fairly easygoing and not too long and quite pretty. It's early August and many of the fields have been harvested now. Lots of black bin liners in the fields. I do hope they recycle though. We join the B roads up here only for a short while. We're turning right and then we'll be turning left before very long at all. So this bit is a little bit busier, I guess. Says Boroughbridge is only 4 miles, but we're going around the houses a bit, or around the fields, should I say. Right over on the right, I can see in the distance the White Horse hill figure. You can see it from everywhere around here. As I said on previous videos, it's not an ancient hill figure. I think it was done at either at the end of the Victorian era or sometime around then by some bloke. I think he was a local butcher. Obviously had a bit of money and decided, having been influenced by the hill figures in places like Wiltshire, etc., to build one there, or establish one. You don't really build one, do you? And it's been there ever since. We turn left here. It's a bit of a climb here. There are a few little climbs on this route, but nothing major. It's what I call a Saturday afternoon ride or a Sunday afternoon ride. 6 miles to Knaresborough, so we're kind of between York and Knaresborough and Harrogate here. And not too far to Ripon either. We will be coming up to a junction at the top, the T junction, give way, where we'll be turning left onto the old A1 that's now the A something else, before turning right to cross the A1M via a bridge, and then we'll be heading to Arkendale village, which is a very pretty village. At some point I'll talk about why I've started to split my bike ride videos into smaller sections, parts 1, 2, 3 or whatever, rather than just one great big long cycle ride. And thanks to one of my followers for suggesting that that might be the way forward for me. To get more hits and also to avoid sections further on in a long ride, a long video, getting kind of overlooked because people don't watch that far. After 2 hours they probably think, oh my god, I've had enough of this. So they miss out on stuff that's really interesting and pretty. So there, I've just given you one of the reasons why. So I can smell public enemy number 1 on the hedgerows, the Himalayan balsam, which, as you know, I go on about a bit. Hate the stuff. Non-native invasive species. just like to say, I really do appreciate people who comment on my videos, and I read every single comment and I try and reply. So please keep those comments going as long as they're nice. And please subscribe if you haven't done so. We're coming up to the junction with what would have been the old A1 before the motorway section was built. Now called the A168. The north, the south. I love it when they do that, being non-specific. So this is a bit of a busy section. I might edit it out. It's only short though. And we're just heading over the actual A1 now, A1M. Hopefully you can hear me above the wind. It's quite windy. Reasons why I'm cutting my cycle ride videos into two or three sections. I've already said one of the reasons. Another is because it takes ages to export a long video that you've made on PowerDirector to export it into MP4 format, and then it also takes ages to upload it to YouTube. I mean, I'm talking several hours, not minutes. Sort of thing you probably just set to run overnight. And then if you find something's wrong with it, you've got to do it all over again unless you can edit it actually on YouTube, which again takes ages, not to do, but to save. So that's two of the reasons why. Another reason why is because I'd like to get more hits, really. The reason being that I don't get paid for these videos. Hang on, we're heading into Arkendale. I don't make any money. We're just driving in Arkendale. But now that I've retired, I'd really like to make a few quid to go towards making these videos. I think, I mean, the equipment, the whatever, and just because the pension which I get this year isn't that big, so the more hits I get, the more chance I have of reaching the YouTube minimum for getting paid for making videos. We go right here. And that makes me feel really greedy saying that, as if I only do it because I want the money. Not true, not true, not true. A few years back, YouTube really raised the minimum threshold for what you have to achieve before they pay you any money in terms of numbers of videos uploaded. You have to meet a whole lot of criteria. Videos uploaded, number of likes, number of watches, lengths of watches, quality, followers or subscribers, of course, shorts, what clicks onto shorts, how many shorts you upload, quite a lot of things. I've actually met the criteria for the shorts, but not for the other things. Anyway, it's not because I'm greedy, no. Just like a bit to support me. No, I'm officially an old age pensioner as of October. We're heading towards Staveley now, where we began one of the bike rides that I've done to Fountains Abbey. We're getting closer to Knaresborough for geography, so you can tell where we are. I was hoping to get to North Devon this summer, but I don't think it's going to happen. If you scroll right down to my earlier rides, you'll see I've done a lot of videos in North Devon, including the Tarka Trail. And also the cycle path, the old railway into Ilfracombe. But I do have Dartmoor booked for the end of September. I really hope it's good weather because, well, of course I hope it's good weather. I hate cycling in the rain. If it rains, I might walk. That's what I did last October when I was there and it rained. And then we had that awful storm. Right, we cross this A road. Yeah, I made the bad decision to take the train from Oakhampton along the new or newish reopened railway line that goes to Exeter for the day, on the day when it was windy and rainy. But the weather forecast hadn't said it was going to be storms. And boy, was it stormy. Oh. It was an absolute nightmare. It was impossible to walk along the streets, it was so bad. So I thought, oh, I'll come back early because this is terrible. All I was doing was coffee shop hopping. But of course, many of the trains were cancelled, especially the trains heading for the southwest coast. And also the ones to Exmouth. It took me, I was on the Exeter Central and Exeter St David's platform waiting for trains for hours. And when eventually there was a train to Oakhampton, just everyone was on it. It was horrible. And a week later I came down with COVID. But I do like to head to Devon in the summer. My family are sick of it, so they don't come. I don't know, I find this sort of magnetism that just sort of takes me there. Any other areas I'm not really that interested in. Husband says, why don't you go to Northumberland? It's gorgeous. Well, it is gorgeous, yes, but I don't know what it is about the southwest. It just draws me. It's weird, isn't it? Somerset too. I went to West Somerset and Exmoor in November of all times. Here we are, this is an old railway bridge. The old Boroughbridge line. Uh-oh, look what it is. It's hedge clippings. and no one's picked them up. Check there's nothing on my tyres, because yeah, as I said last time, I had a double puncture. I mean, I have got pretty tough tyres. These are Continental Gator, they're not Gators, Gator hard shells, which are pretty tough. That's why I got them. And my winter tyres are some Schwabe. Is it Schwabe? Yeah, anyway, it's those, which are again pretty tough. Right, we're in Staveley, which is a very nice little village. Obviously the bin men are coming today. When I start a ride here, I often park here by the village green. Not getting in anyone's way. Yeah, I took my bike to Somerset in November, but I never actually got out on it. It was just too wet and muddy following that terrible autumn weather. But I went on walks every single day. Really, really gorgeous, really mindful, very mindful actually, because the weekend before I went, I'd been on a mindfulness retreat in Derbyshire, in the Peak District. Oh yes, that was a good weekend. First retreat I've ever been on. It was quite amazing. And that, with the week walking in beautiful autumnal woodlands, etc. in West Somerset, it was amazing. I almost felt like hugging trees. Well, not quite, but one of the mindfulness retreat, what would you call it? It was sort of split into sections, and one of them was all about being more mindful about nature around you, rather than just zooming past and ignoring them, just stopping and taking a look and things. Right, we turn right here. The only thing I wasn't keen on was every morning there was at 7 o'clock walk to the local lake. I don't do early mornings. But the other ladies, we sort of pushed it back to 7:30, 8 o'clock maybe, which was a bit more doable. Oh, it's beautiful here. There's a kind of fishing lake there. seriously though, I did find that retreat was really helpful. Really was. Like resetting your head. Unfortunately, when I got back to Leeds, all the stuff with my mum and her dementia kicked off, so I haven't really got back into where I left off really with mindfulness and stuff. I need to do that. I really do. Gopgrove. It's here that we head off down a bit of off-road path. Well, it's a track that looks like it was once tarmacked. Got to go carefully because the surface is bad. But it's a good cut through when you're on your bike and you want to get to the Way of the Roses route without going all the way to Bishop Monkton. There's some bridleways are doable on a bike and others most definitely are not, and you get to know the ones that are, or the ones that aren't too bad and where it's not, you might have to walk a little bit of it, but that's no problem. Not got my Garmin with me today. I'm just recording it on Strava. Sweet little church. This is where we turn right. And be careful because traffic can come around this corner, so go easy. Public bridleway. It's not too bad to start with, but the surface does get challenging further on. So go easy. Don't want to skid. You have to concentrate when you've got tyres without any tread on them, like these road tyres. Well, my sister, another cyclist, always said, like, when you're cycling through tricky off-road terrain like this, it's best to just keep on moving the pedals rather than just freewheeling. You get more control, and I think she's probably right. In mud and puddles especially. Of course, in puddles you don't always know what lies beneath. And some sections are okay, like this bit here. Funny that. Oh, the Himalayan balsam's even got here. Gets everywhere. What they need is a natural predator. There was some talk a few years ago, look at it all, of there having found a natural predator, but obviously it's not working. Oh, look at it, everywhere here on the right. Right, this is the end of this bit where we go down here, get past the gate, and a cute little lodge, and then this will take us to to the lane that's part of the Way of the Roses. Coming in the left from Ripon and Bishop Monckton, and we'll be going right towards Roecliffe and Boroughbridge. Roecliffe, not Roecliffe. Roecliffe is in York. I used to really like cycling through Roecliffe. Well, I still do, but one of the pubs, in one of the tables outside, they used to have these two shop window dummies, you know, dressed in clothes and obviously not naked, but they're pretending to drink glasses of wine, a bottle of wine on the table, and they've got all the... I'll try and fish out a photo so that I'll have to describe it. And they're not there anymore. I thought it was such a great idea. It's like on the Hull Road, the road that I take when I go to the Yorkshire Wilds, there was an antiques emporium or something along the road, and outside they had a piano, an upright piano, with a skeleton sat there pretending to play it. I was so sad to see that was up for sale when I went the other day, last week. So no more skeletons playing pianos. But you really notice that sort of thing. I think it's a great marketing trick. So here we are, we've arrived at the lane where we join the Way of the Roses, and you probably can see the Way of the Roses sign. Right, so we got Bishop Monckton that way, and we're going that way towards Boroughbridge. I did find some interesting facts out about Boroughbridge a while ago, but I've forgotten most of them. I know the fountain in the centre, in the marketplace, which features on the thumbnail for the next part of this video, used to supply the water to the whole of the village. Wow, that's not that interesting, I suppose. What is more interesting was that when I don't know who it was, I'll have to find out, but there was a battle at Boroughbridge back in the day. I'll have to find out more about it. The only bit I remember was the bridge at the time. There was one of the rebels was crossing it, and unfortunately one of the other side's soldiers was underneath the bridge, and apparently stuck his spear through the slats on the bridge right up this gentleman's, well, that's what the story says anyway, right up his ARSE. Might be a bit of poetic license. I know it has something to do with the Cliffords, as in Clifford's Tower in York. Clifford being the surname of the Clifford family as opposed to the first name. Again, I need to find out more. It also used to have an outrageously high number of pubs and inns, probably because it was on the Great North Road, which would be a stopping place in the days of stagecoaches and so on. Watering hole. It's also famous for, so it's all coming back to me now, it's also famous for the devil's arrows. I nearly said the red arrows, but that's something different. The devil's arrows. We'll stop and take a look at the devil's arrows because we go straight past it, or past them. Unfortunately, there's a housing estate built right opposite them now. One of them's missing. It's been missing for some time and nobody knows where it is. They say it might be incorporated into one of the bridges. Who knows? They are ancient, monolith type things. Boroughbridge also has cafes and takeaways and bakers' shops if you want to stop off on your ride and eat cake. Don't do what I did in Devon and have a massive cream tea before continuing your ride. Not advisable, not advisable. Hideous indigestion. It was a nice cream tea though. I had it on the Tarka Trail cycle route at the old Torrington railway station, which is now a rather nice cafe. It does fantastic homemade cakes and things and a really nice cream tea. But do have that cream tea at the end of a cycle ride, not in the middle, especially from experience. I think we're just approaching Roecliffe. Yes, we are. Roecliffe. The pub that had those ladies sitting outside drinking wine is on the left as we go into the village. This pub here. And the ladies used to sit there. Huge village green. Another thing Boroughbridge is famous for is that it kind of links on to Ouseburn, which has a Roman villa. which I think is owned by English Heritage. We'll be coming to the outskirts of Boroughbridge very soon. We go under the A1 Hello. This is where we go under the A1. Straight ahead into Boroughbridge. Boroughbridge. But first we'll just take a left shortly to look at the Devil's Arrows. Here. A field of corn, which is kind of hiding the arrows. Down this little lane here to the marketplace. And the marketplace will be where we end part 1 of this video, so please do click on to part 2. It shall take us along the way of the roses back to Great Ouseburn, and we may even go and look at that little church again, the one that Anne Bronte drew a picture of, or painted. So here we are in the marketplace. There's cafes, pubs, restaurants, hair salons, bakers, butchers, everything. This is the old fountain that used to serve the whole town. I think this was added later.